Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Today I'm excited to show you a bunch of products from the company Ammo by Mig. I just received a big box in the mail today of all kinds of products that are really exciting to look at. We've got all kinds of their new base mats. These are pre-made diorama mats, which I'll talk more in depth in a little while. Very nice to see. All different styles. There's like 11 different styles on that. And really nice that I've been actually using these as some of my reference over the last couple of years. This is the Weathering magazine by Mig. Excellent, excellent articles about doing rust, desert work, water, you name it, it's all in there. Plus also, we'll talk a little bit about the new Encyclopedia of Armor, which is a volume 2 in this set that's just come out. It's going to be a 5-part set that'll be out very soon, but volume 2 just hit the racks real soon, so I'm really excited about that. I'm actually going to use some of these products in this video. We're also going to use some of these diorama mats and show you how what you can do with them and put them together. So really excited about all this stuff, so let's get started on it. Okay, the first thing that I'm really excited to show you guys are these new pre-made mats by Mig. They are detailed, weathered, ready to go. Just you pull them out of the package and you have an instant diorama basically. Just attach it to a wooden board. You can see some of the different terrains that they have. I'll just show you some of these really quickly. These have a lot of stone effect. Oops, sorry about the glare. Have a lot of stone involved with them, so you can get really nice 3D effect on that one. Then they have ones that are just basically like turf. And keep in mind too, you can cut these up very, very easily and make your own kind of dioramas. This is actually the Pinewood Forest one, open up for display. And I don't know about you guys, but I think that looks really, really good for a prepackaged diorama base. So what I'm going to do on this one to show you guys in this diorama, we have this longer board. Obviously it doesn't fit on here, but what we can do is we're going to cut this from the diagonal from that point to that point, kind of at a jagged edge. We will attach this corner in here and then move this corner over here, and that'll leave us a nice long trough through the middle that we can go ahead using plaster and stuff to build like a road, and we can put our tracks in there, and that way we can put our vehicle on it. But then we'll have on the outside edges this nice grass terrain that, like I said, it's ready to go. There's no fuss or muss to take care of anything. So that's going to be a really, really good. I also have one of the stony ones open that we might do a similar thing. You see really close up how nicely that one looks. Can even do a little zoom in, see the weeds and all the different types of terrain that they're involved with that. And the last thing I want to show you is that this is actually one of their newest things. This is their small bushes. Now they've got them in a couple different types of styles, and what this is you actually are going to pull these little clumps up and just separate it off right there, and there you have. You'll just use a little bit of glue and you have a little clump bush that you can mess around with it. We're actually going to use some of these too, maybe near the edge of the road to kind of break it up a little bit, but that's another nice really looking design that we can use in a lot of things. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start cutting that up, and I'm going to show you how to use that in a diorama. Here we are. We have our base, or actually I keep calling it a base. I should call it a mat. These are actually a mat because of the type of material that's almost like a Brillo pad on the back here. So just using regular scissors, we're just going to go down the line, and like I said, we don't want to cut it too straight, so you can just kind of do a jagged little cut. And this way it won't look really uniform. It'll look more like the way nature has things. Right up to the corner. So we have that ready to go, and I'll show you what I was talking about by we'll line this up on this side and right through the middle there, and now we have kind of like a little bit of a road going through that we'll fill with plaster. And actually I might even cut out a little bit more out of here to make it a little wider, because I actually planned on using a Hetzer to go in the middle of it, and that's a little narrow, but we'll see how it works in there. So what we're going to do now is get our plaster and start filling in that middle area. Let me show you what I've done here. I've taken our board and I've sprayed the entire outside edge with flat black, and then I put 2 coats of clear coat on it to seal it in with lacquer. And then after all that's dried, I've gone ahead and covered the entire outside edge with masking tape, and this is going to protect our finish underneath here. Now I've taken some lightweight hydrocal plaster and I mixed it up with a little bit of earth color, liquid pigment, and we've mixed it into, sorry about that, into a slurry here. Now I wanted it kind of thin for a couple reasons. At first I thought about just gluing those other pieces down, but I thought I'm actually going to use this to attach so it's all one big giant piece on it. So hopefully this is not too thin, but the wood will suck some of the moisture out of it as well too. So I'm going to go ahead and put a kind of a thin coat over the entire model, or base here, and then we'll just start to spread it out. Now, I know it's not really much of a dirt color at this point. What this is we're gonna be painting on all this stuff as well. This is mainly just that if we chip the plaster, it's not gonna be white underneath. So disregard the color. It's just the earth base coat, the way it looks. And we wanna get it right up to the edges on all this, but not too thick. Right up to the edge. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our mat and we're going to lay it into place here. Now that we have that down, we'll fill in this area a little bit high. Now we are going to mold some track lines in this, but we're not going to do this for a while because this is going to need a little time to set up because we made it so thin. And that's also the reason we put the tape over it, because it is thin and it is a little bit messy there. And if you do spill any in it like I just did right there, don't try to get it up now while it's wet. Way easier to get up plaster once it's dried. Okay, so now you see that right there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to temporarily take another board, put a little pressure on it there to make sure that the grass mat is making good contact with all the plaster. So I'm going to put something heavy weight on that, and we're going to let this set up for a little while. I originally just left the plaster and put some tracks and a little ballast and dirt into the center of the road, but wasn't really liking it too much, and even with the paint job I thought it was going to be too flat because I wanted to make more of a muddy type effect. So what I ended up doing was just taking some of my acrylic mud effect and just putting a nice thick layer on down through the middle. It stays shiny, looks muddy all the time. So I'm just going to spread out a whole layer on the inside of here, and then we're going to push the track vehicle right into it, and that'll give us our track marks. Plus it'll also adhere the vehicle to the base and give it a nice little, like a muddy road going through the middle of a field. Well, here we go. Here's the final diorama. This stuff is all dried, but you can still see it has a little bit of a sheen to it. Really simple, easy, less than an actual hour of real work. There is a little bit of amount of drying time in between, But I think it looks really, really good. The amount of time that it would take to put any of these individual tufts of grass would take you forever. So for a quick, no-nonsense, easy to build diorama, these mats are excellent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the web address down here, that if you want to pick them up, you can get them from Ammo from Mig. I'm actually going to give his U.S. address. I'm sure there's a worldwide address as well. But yeah, I think they're a very, very good product, and especially if you just want to do something quick to show off your model real fast, I think they work great for that. To talk to you guys about is the Weathering magazine. Now this is also a magazine that is put out by Mig. Has some great articles in it, and up until now it's been kind of tough to get a hold of in this at least in the United States. In Europe it's probably a lot easier because it's a European magazine. It's fully in English because they have multiple different versions, some English, some Spanish, and I believe a few other languages as well. But I have had these from time to time come into my store that I've got to read and just absolutely love them. I actually picked up quite a few techniques too over the years doing, and they're adding new ones all the time. It's a beautiful color magazine with just great detail and really shows you step by step how to do each one of the different types of techniques that they're using. So they've got one, this is their newest one that's out. This is on filters, washes, and oils. And they're talk about their oil brushers that they have coming out too, which I've put those on order for my store, so I'll have those soon, and I'll be showing you using those quite a bit on the upcoming models. Then they have one on doing wrecked vehicles, 1945 German stuff, Vietnam. This interior book deals with a lot of well, that's the actual Tacom King Tiger in there, so it's doing interiors in general on airplanes, subs, you name it. It's all different types of good stuff. They've got one on dust. One I'm really excited to see is this one on water, excuse me, and really showing you in depth. And there's just some absolutely gorgeous models in here, using, of all things, oatmeal, just weird things like that, but it just does such a beautiful effect on the model. Just great book. I've spent the last 3 hours looking through at all the different articles. Then there's one on rust, and then of course desert. There's actually a few more that I have in, but just great magazines. I would highly recommend them. What I'm going to do for you too is I'm going to give you Mig's address, their web address, that if you want to pick these up, they're less than $15. Great. I would highly recommend getting the entire collection of those. Okay, I'm going to finish this video up right here. I think we've gotten the whole diorama portion of it done. Now, I've received boxes of all kinds of new and exciting products that we're going to start using in upcoming videos, and be on the lookout from them. They're all going to be about 10 to 15 minutes, and they're just going to show you how to use some of the basics of either some weathering supplies or little diorama mats, all things like that. So, as always, I want to thank you for watching, and please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.